Hey, hi everyone. This is Vivek from iRecord. Today I'm going to walk you through a short demonstration about the software, beginning with just a introduction about the software that iRecord has been around in the industry since more than 12 years now, and we are primarily catering to HNIs and above. We are not into retail at all. Our solutions are directly serviceable to HNIs, family offices, brokers, advisors, consultants, and chartered accountants. The software only functions on Windows applications. It wouldn't work on MacBook, and it also doesn't operate on browser. So, though it is a desktop-based software, the comprehensiveness about the software is in depth, which means that you would find multiple of features you wouldn't find anywhere else. And at the same time, custody of your data remains in your end. So your data is not on our server, neither on our channels, which entails that we wouldn't have any access onto whatever you're doing on the software. And at the same time, there is no limitation on assets under management. So we do not restrict you on how many clients you could manage, whether they are your family members or your commercial clients. And we do not track what is your total asset under management as of date. So, for example, if today your net worth is around 100 crores and tomorrow market fluctuates up and down and it touches 100 crores and 10 lakhs, we wouldn't ask you to upgrade or, switch your plan from a lower to a higher version just because you cross your AUM limit. So, we don't have any such entitlements. There's totally no limit on our AUM, and neither there is any limit on how many brokers, banks, or whatever you could, function within the software. So walking through a short gist about the introduction phase of the software. Whenever someone logs in, this is how the screen pops out. So whenever someone signs in, this is how you would be able to see a small screen on the display, which would be walking you through or showing you how many clients you have created as of today and how many of your clients are maintained as of date. Even if you have an dormant client, still it will show up over here, unless and until you delete all the data of theirs. So on the left-hand side, under member name, we have all the clients which are being managed and maintained in the software. And as you could see, there are multiple family names adjacent to the client's name, which is nothing but, it simply denotes that, Mehul belongs to Shah family and Mr. Mehul has multiple family members within Shah family. The purpose of us grouping individual members to a group is to receive and generate a group wise report which would be available in the software once you feed in the data. So you could create n number of group or n number of family names in the software. And as you could also see, Mr. Mehul has multiple financial years mapped up along with him. This is nothing but all the financial years that he has opened in the software and also worked into those financial years. So just a heads up that in iRecord software, we are able to carry forward your financial years automatically once you close your books and hit on carry forward your balances to next financial year. However, we do not have any such arrangements wherein we could go from current year to backward year. So let's assume that you are working on 2025-26 financial year, and after 6 7 months you decide that you would also want to go ahead and open 2024-25 financial year. Now just a matter of fact that in the mid of the year you have already uploaded multiple of your brokers contract notes, your bank statements, whatever. It is not possible for us to drag it down backwards and take it all your ledger accounts or your chart of accounts to 2024-25, which means nothing but you'll have to create everything from scratch. You'll have to also import your opening stock as of 31st March 2024. Hence, we highly recommend anybody and everybody who is working for the first time on the software to be very sure about what would be their first financial year, as it becomes very critical for someone to, ensure the accuracy of data being carried forward year on year. So for the purpose of demo, we would be walking you through Mehul's account for 2024-25 financial year. I'll click on start work, and once I click on start work, certain dashboard will be shown up in front of you. Now this dashboard is limited to Mehul. Over here, I would not be able to see Vivek's or Karthik's dashboard, which means that as and when I would need to work on someone else's account, I'll have to toggle out and go to my main dashboard and select that particular member from here and sign into their account. So let's assume that from Mule, I want to now punch any entry in the Ajay call. So I'll have to click over here, start work, and go into Ajay call. So Ajay Call's data will be now populated over here, and you cannot work in Mehul's database within Ajay Call. So this is how shifting and switching upon your member to member can be done easily. So the first thing that we look into the software whenever someone logs in or signs up for the first time is we have to create few masters and also few configurations within the software. So the first stage is to create family group, which we also recall as group or your family name. It could also be your company name. So you have to simply click on add and punch in your family name. You could have multiple family names within one database, doesn't matter. So this is how your groups will be generated. And once we define what is your group, we'll have to also define who are the group members within that particular group. So this would include, for example, let's say Shah family. Shah family will have Mehul. So I'll have to create a small KYC for Mehul, which we could also use for further trace back. So what will happen is it'll mention the entire name of the member. It'll also tag that particular group to the member. And if you would wish, you can also input their email addresses and your address. And whatever data you feed over here will be printed on all the reports that it will be extracting from the software. So irrespective of whatever you input will be shown onto your all the reports. PAN card number is mandatory because this is a number wherein we we lock in and we import your mutual fund cash statement. So we highly recommend and suggest that please don't misinterpret this and input any wrong data. It could be only be detrimental to you on the further stage. So once we are done with this, we have to also define financial years to the members. And once you are done defining the financial years to the members, certain presentation will be shown to you with all the members that you have opened up, and also adjacent to that, all the groups that you have tagged along with them. And besides that, we could also see per member what is the financial years that we have mapped. So once done with this, your first stage and first leg of onboarding is done. Secondly, we would also come and also favoritize all the brokers that we work with. So just a heads up, in iRecord, still we have segment-wise broker setup done, which entails that if you have combined contract note coming up, still if you have equity and FNO, you would have to import twice the same contract note in the iRecord software if you are choosing to import for daily contract notes. So, contract notes are available in Edmo formats. Once you click on OK, all the available contract notes as of today will be shown to you, and this will be shown to you segment wise. So, you could direct it and choose your particular segment for equity cash, FO, MCX currency, bonds, NCDX, whatever. So, once you define that you're working on XYZ segments and you tick mark the ones that you think that you are about to work with or you're already working with. Once done favoriting from the entire universe of lists that we have shown to you, certain favorited brokers format will be shown to you in front of your screen. Now, this means that these are the only brokers that I am working with or all my clients have together as a group. And as and when the broker contract note gets updated or changed, we are proactively updating it. And if it is made available to you, once you update the application, new formats will be popped into your database automatically. So you'll have to be privy of, mapping the correct format to the contract note that you are willing to import. Again, once heads up over here, whatever contract notes that you are favoriting over here, we have to also ensure that it has adjacent and corresponding transaction cost mapped to it. So you might be aware that every contract note might be having certain expenditures in the footer that you will be incurred whenever you make any transactions on the exchange. It would be, primarily your STT, your brokerage, your GST, SEBI fees, XYZ. So all the possible charges that the broker is, deducting from your contract, and charging you is shown by them in your contract note. So all those particular contract notes we have consolidated, and per contract note we have identified all the commonalities between the expenditures. So you need not do anything manually. Everything is automated for you. The only thing you'll have to do is click on download expenses after selecting the format that you are willing to download expenditures for, and click on OK. Once you do this, whatever charges are charged by the broker to you will be automatically been populated in your system. You need not do anything, which means that the system now knows when you import the contract note, CGST should be going under CGST ledger, stamp duty should be going under stamp duty ledger. If you wish that this should be not according to our mapping, you could also possibly create your own ledgers and map those ledgers accordingly as per your requirement. For example, if you feel that CGST should not be under CGST, it should be going under other charges, you can transfer cost everything to other charges manually. That is also doable, and you can simply save on this. Once you save this, this particular format and expenditure will be saved for you, and this you would have to repeat for once for every member that you have opened up. Similarly, you can also look up for FO, you can also look up for MCX currency if you are working into that. Whatever segments of capital markets are there in India, everything is made available for you. So this is how we search for the broker's format, and we select the format that is eligible for us, and we favoritize that from the entire universe list that we have. Once you're done with this, 50% of your first leg of onboarding is done. Second leg is primarily more focused on opening up masters and your accounting per se. So anybody who is willing to do their personal or company's investment accounting and personal accounting in the software, we also have the feasibility to map your chart of accounts and also create chart of accounts. So we have two major categories in the software, which is called account groups and general ledger accounts. So anybody who is having basics of accounting, they would be able to resemble that. Account groups or group master is nothing but all the major head of the groups that are popped out into your trial balance and your balance sheet. And general ledger accounts are nothing but the second level of subgroup accounts that you can create for your day-to-day transactions. So all the possible hard-code group of accounts we have already given out. If you feel that the provided list is not enough, you could, possibly anytime create your own individual customized group of accounts over here. For example, if you want to open AIF Cat 3 category and map it under other investments, you are more than welcome to do that. And once you do it, you would be able to see a group called AIF in your search. So this is how you can create your own customized group heads. And there's no limit on how many you can create. As and when you feel that this is required, you are more than welcome to create nth number of group members or group masters over here. Once done with that, we have second level of subgroup accounts for groups called general ledger accounts. Uh, this is primarily used to map your bank transactions or passing a JV. So we have few pre-filled data, which is by default, which is nothing but, let's say, your bank, your TDS, your investment accounts, your fixed deposits, your PMSs. So anything and everything that is basic and universal to everyone has already been, flooded into the software. However, we do realize that everyone's books of accounts will be not as similar to other person. So you are more than welcome to customize it and make it as simplified for yourself. So if you want to do it manually, you could just type in the account name. Let's call it TDS payable. And I would want to tag it under, let's say, provisions. Or I would also take it under current asset. So I'll just simply create and mention my TDS payable ledger name and click on save. Once done, now I would be able to see a second level of account called TDS payable in my search bar. And this is the report that we have under reports, wherein you'll be able to view all the list of the running chart of accounts that you have in the software. So this is as good as any other accounting software there where you can see your register for all the chart of accounts. As and when you create it, automatically report will get updated from the background. So Once done with this, your another 50% of onboarding is done for stage two. Now, another 50% that is pending, we have few other features that is called consultant and demat. So as and when someone wishes to create a new broker account, in iRecord, you'll have to create a party name for that. Party name is, also known as general ledger account for the same. So let's assume that you are working for a broker called, let's take HSBC broking account, and we'll have to tag it under broker account. So we have two bifurcations under subheads over here as well. One is called broker liability, one is called broker assets. Anything that you feel that you would be importing your contract notes or your trade file, you'll have to make it ensured that you are tagging it under only broker CA accounts. The reason being, only once you select the broker CA accounts, it will be popped out when you are about to import your contract notes. Unless and until you do not do that, you would not be able to view the same accounts over there. Another heads up over here, anybody who is having a stock in trade or your trading portfolios to be maintained in the software, we have both the possibilities to be maintained books wise, let's say investment account and non-investment account. So basis your nature of operations and your accounting per se, you are eligible to create and map it accordingly based your requirement. It could be your investments, it could also be your trading or your share trading account. Basis your selection, automatically your taxation reports will be updated based on that. So once done with creating my HSBC account, the second stage would be to create my Demat account simultaneously. The reason being, whatever contract notes or your data that you would be flooding in manually will be flowing through this DP account. Once you import that, this is how your Demat balance will be shown broker wise. So you would be having a crystal clear scenario in front of you across all the DPs that you hold per PAN number that will allow you to view all the holdings that you have across all the Demat accounts. This report is very well eligible to be reconciled manually along with the NSDL and CDSL statement. In case if you have any off-market transactions, you could also put your off-market transactions to be tracked within the software via this demat stock transfer. Once you do that, something like this will be shown to you called DP transfer. The only purpose of showing marking as DP transfer is to make you realize that this was your off-market transactions. And if you are about to reconcile your demat holding, your broker might have a negative stock over there or no quantity shown over there. So as and when there's an incoming quantity in the broker's account from another broker, they do not show the purchase price and the quantity that has been transferred. They only show the value for the same. And you could just, whenever you sell off, the stocks will be still be shown under negative stock. So doing that, it is very seamless for you to map and track your off-market transactions within the software. So once done with this, second feature that we have is called Consultant Master. Now there's a lot of buzz around in the industry to map or to take advisory from third parties who are professionals. So if you are someone being an investor taking advisory from third party, you have an eligibility in the software to map your transactions to that particular advisor. So let's assume that you are getting into an advisory with a consultant called ABC Advisory. Now this ABC Advisory is recommending you to buy X amount of shares of particular scripts on day-to-day basis, and you have an arrangement with them that whatever profit that you make, you'll be sharing them with 10% profit share. So it is very essential for you if the volume is high and frequent to track what is the quality of performance they are providing to you, and basis that are they even eligible to receive the 10% sharing. So someone who is very detailed and willing to track consultant advisories on a transaction level basis, they are more than welcome to tag along with the transactions they are willing to import. And once done with that, we have something called Script Master. So within the iRecord software, all your Script Masters get updated and uploaded automatically, which is being fetched from our service providers. So you need not create anything manually. Even if there's a rename of the script, system will automatically update it. However, if you are someone who still wants to ensure that, for example, Zomato got renamed with eternal name, if you are someone who is willing to rename it manually, you are more than welcome to come over here to this tool, click on OK, search for that particular script, let's call 361 WAM. Now I am assuming that this 361 WAM has renamed their name to HEG. So I'll simply click on HEG, select my ISIN and click on save. Once I do that, 360 WAM will be replaced with HEG also. So all the transactions that we have within the software will be transferred from 361 WAM to HEG Limited. So it is this seamless and easier for anybody to renaming a script. There's no brainer over there. Uh, on the script master front, if you are someone that is also active into unlisted segment of the markets, it is also possible to, track your unlisted transactions in the software. So I'm taking an example of NSE. So whenever you are creating a new master for scripts, you'll have to manually create for the unlisted shares. So you'll have to define NSE stands for what, whether that is listed, not listed. If it is unlisted, just untick BSE NSE and it becomes unlisted for the software. So if nothing is ticked mark, it means to the software that this script is unlisted share. After doing this, the last lag is to create your opening stocks and importing your opening balances. So for this, we have few templates which are available on the iRecords website. So this is how our account master template looks like. So if you are someone who is willing to import your closing trial balances or balance sheet, you would be able to, import that by copy pasting your existing closing trial balance into this format. And once done with that, simply import this particular file into the software. And by doing that, you would not be required to create each ledger manually. However, not being manually, automatically all your balances will be imported, and you would be able to see a opening trial balance, which will be looking something like this. So this is the column for your opening trial balances. And we also have a template to bring in your opening stocks for it could be for your mutual funds, your equities, your F4 transactions, whatever. So if you have any opening stocks, you would be able to, copy paste your closing stock as of 31st March or whatever date you wish that should be correct. Just import the same over here and, denote what is the script name, what is the quantity, what is the buy price, and what is the ISIN number for the same. If ISIN is not available, that is okay. The software will ask you whenever you import this file, and if it is not able to recognize what INFI stands for. So once you do that, you would be also be able to import your opening stock. I will just simply show you how easier it is. So I'll select my broker, I'll select my broker, and also select my Demat account. And I'll select where the file has been saved. So you'll have to select the path where your file is kept in the software and just click on save and click on OK. So all your opening stocks with multiple data of purchases, multiple consultants. If you wish that this Wipro was recommended by someone else and basis their recommendation you have bought it, you are very welcome to tag it under that consultant's name at a transaction level. And you would have to import this opening stock demat and broker wise. So in case that if you have 5 brokers and 5 demats, you'll have to import each individually 5 times. Once done with this, we are very well done with, bringing in all your data that we have, which is possible enough to get imported until your last financial year. There's nothing else pending in my per se that could be possibly be done to bring in your missing transactions. So we have imported your chart of accounts, we have imported your closing trial balance, we have imported your closing stock for the previous financial year as of 31st of March, which is now gotten your opening stock for the current financial year as of 1st April. We have brought in your consultants, we have opened your demat accounts, and we have also mentioned and specified who all are the brokers that we are working with.